Hi everybody. So today we're making one of the first recipes I ever created. It's called Fajita Pie. I think it took me even probably 5-10 years before I even wrote it down, but I had so many requests for this dish from friends and family that this was kind of the start of my recipe creation journey, where I started to figure out how to actually write stuff down. It's very difficult as a savory cook when you're adding a little bit of this and a little bit of that to actually put it on paper, but I'm becoming pretty good at it. So fajita pie is a Mexican dish. Right here I am sauteing 3 large onions, 2 large green peppers, 1 jalapeno, and 1 red pepper in about 1/3 cup of olive oil. You can see they've wilted nicely, stirring away. And I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. No seasoning. Probably about half teaspoon of salt and half teaspoon of black pepper. And I'm going to let these go until they are nice and caramelized and soft. They're getting pretty close, actually. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. As soon as these are done, we're going to come back and we're going to save the juices from the pan, and we're going to toss our chicken with our Cajun spices in the juices. So we'll let those continue to go for a minute, and then I just wanted to talk to you for a second about the spices. So great news, Dish Off the Block is going to be launching a line of spices, spice mixes, and my Cajun seasoning is going to be one of them. This recipe is on the blog if you want to make it yourself, but a lot of people get overwhelmed because I think there's probably 12 to 15 different spices in the mix, so it's a lot to do for a quick weeknight dinner. So in the meantime, you could use your favorite store-bought Cajun spice, but this will be way better, and we should have it for you for sale soon. Super exciting. So we're going to let these continue to cook away. When those are done, we're going to toss our chicken breast. I've got about 4 cooked chicken breasts here that I shredded, about 5 cups of chicken. We're going to toss the spice with the chicken in the pepper drippings, and then we're going to assemble the casserole. We'll be right back. All right, our peppers are done, and this is the consistency you want. See, they're even like the onions are a little bit golden brown, and they are super soft and caramelized and fragrant, and they're going to be delicious in the casserole. So now we're going to go to the pepper pan. I'm going to take the chicken I talked about and heat on. I'm going to add, you see the drippings are here, all that yummy goodness from the peppers. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. And then our chicken. And the idea here is to basically coat your chicken in the Cajun spices. So I'm going to add, these are hot, they're spicy, so depending on your heat level is going to depend on how much you want to add. I add for this dish 2 tablespoons. You're definitely going to want a little sour cream to cool it down, but it will be so good. If you don't like a really spicy dish, you can add less of the seasoning. So that's 2 tablespoons of Dish Off the Block's famous Cajun spice mix, or soon to be famous in my own mind right now. And then we're just going to, like I said, toss. The chicken's already cooked. You've cooked and shredded it. So really what you're doing here is you're coating the chicken all over evenly with that spice mix and just kind of heating it through. It doesn't need to be hot. It's going to go in the oven. I can smell the heat. It smells so good. Okay. All right. And so we're just about there. And we'll be back in 1 second to assemble the casserole. Okay, it's time to assemble our fajita pie. So we're going to start off with a 9 by 13 inch baking dish, and I'm just going to coat it lightly with nonstick spray. Pam, that's me. Ha ha ha. Okay, and then we're going to start with salsa. So this recipe, again, I said is super simple. You're not even making your own salsa. You can use your favorite store-bought brand. You're going to need about 2.5 cups. And I put a little bit in the base of the pan, just like that. And then just kind of do that as a coating on the bottom. Not a lot, just enough to hold the tortillas. And then I like this brand, Maria and Ricardo's. You could use any flour tortilla, or if you're looking to make a gluten-free dish, you could use corn tortillas, which are just as delicious. I happen to be a flour tortilla girl, so I'm going with these. So we're gonna layer in the bottom of the pan 2 tortillas, and they'll overlap a little bit. And then you're gonna put, again, a little more salsa, a couple tablespoons, probably maybe half a cup even, third of a cup. This is really not fancy and very easy to put together. It doesn't have to be too precise. On top of that, we're going to put about a third of our chicken. And sprinkle that evenly all over. I'm gonna just get right in there with my hands. Okay, so the chicken is spread. Then we're gonna put on a layer of the peppers. Again, about a third of the mixture. Oh, it looks so good, so pretty. Get in there, guys. Peppers and onions, they smell amazing. Okay, you're gonna follow that up with some of the tomatoes, about a fourth of the tomatoes, because you're gonna do your last layer is gonna be cheese, tomatoes, and olives, and you're not gonna have the rest of the goodness. So just spread those around. These are gonna give, as opposed to the jarred salsa, which has nice umami flavor, but it's all cooked through, these are gonna give a fresh pop throughout the casserole. And then cheese. So for the cheese, to make it easy, you can absolutely use packaged cheese, like a Mexican style cheese or a cheddar cheese. I like it. I think it's a little creamier if you grate your own. So I've grated some of my own cheddar here, and this is about 3 cups. And then I'm gonna use this on the top because this Mexican stuff is real pretty with the orange and the white. But again, any mix, you could do Monterey Jack, whatever cheese you love. So next layer is about a cup or so of the cheese. Sprinkle, sprinkle. And then again, a little bit more. The salsa, again, this is not fancy. Just kind of get it evenly spread around. This is all gonna cook together into like ooey gooey amazing goodness. So let's give that a little bit of this, a little zhuzh. And then 2 more tortillas. Give it a little press down. Okay, a little more salsa. Spread, spread, spread. And we're basically going to repeat the layers and then finish off on the top. The final layer is going to be a little salsa, cheese, tomatoes, and just a can of sliced black olives. So, and then we're going to put it in the oven. All right, we've layered this amazing tower of fajita pie goodness. I'm just finishing the top. The top layer, as I said, has just some salsa, the rest of the cheese, and then tomatoes all over the top. Make it pretty. These guys, just kind of push them into the cheese a little bit. Okay. And then 1 can of sliced black olives that's been drained. And again, real simple, all over the top. Push them down into that cheese. This is gonna be so good. And at the end, we're gonna garnish with some cilantro, which is gonna give it a nice green pop. So we're putting it in. I've preheated my oven to 375 degrees, and we're gonna put it in to bake. Open the door. And this is going to go for about 30 to 40 minutes at 375 until it's melted and bubbly and delicious. We'll be right back. All right, look at this baby. Oh my God, it smells amazing. Was in the oven on convection for about 25-30 minutes, and it looks incredible. So I've poured a glass of wine, very important, and now we're gonna serve it up. So this basically you cut into wedges. I like to use a steak knife that's serrated. It gets through all the layers nicely. We're gonna cut. all that. You know, the first piece is always the hardest to get out of the pan, so bear with me. All right. My plate here. All right, wish me luck. I'm going in. Oh. What? Stop it. So good. Amazing. Get a little bit more cilantro over the top. And then I like to garnish with a dollop of sour cream on top because this is going to have some heat. Remember, we put in the jalapeno and the Cajun spice mix. Finger looking good. All right, let's try it. Take a little bit of the sour cream. Mm. So good. You want to try this.